Let me introduce to you my favorite screen reader called VoiceOver. VoiceOver is a speech software that allows people who are blind or visually impaired to read information on the screen. VoiceOver is built into Mac OS X, so it's available on every Mac computer. We will start by turning VoiceOver on. The great thing is that because it's a built-in software, there is a global shortcut key which is available to users to use at any point. To turn VoiceOver on, we press Command F5, and we will use the same shortcut key to turn it off. So let's start by turning VoiceOver on.
VoiceOver on Chrome, Google window, Google HTML content has keyboard focus.
You can refer to instructor notes for a full list of available shortcut keys. The next thing I would like to do is to set up VoiceOver for my needs. I would like to open VoiceOver control panel.
Spotlight, system dialog, VoiceOver utility, Chrome, Google, VoiceOver utility, window.
I want to show you how to adjust speech rate for VoiceOver. First, I'll show you the speed that I normally use in my daily computing tasks, and then we'll switch back to the normal speech rate.
Verbosity, speech. Leaving table. Mute speech. Alex. Default. 4-5. Contents selected. Default. Rate. Edit text. Default. Rate. Stepper. Rate 50%. 50. 65%. 70%. 75%.
So this is my speech rate. However, most people, when they hear it, they say it's too difficult for them to understand because the voice is speaking just too fast. So to make things a little bit easier on you, I'm going to switch back to the default speech rate.
Rate 55, 50%, 45%.
The next setting I want to change is the setting that's responsible for providing a summary of a web page when it loads. In order to do that, I will switch to the web category. Notice one thing, that as I navigate through the list of categories, I use keyboard exclusively. So in this instance, I'm just going to Shift Tab.
4-5. Alex. Mute speech. Unchecked. Checkbox. Voices. Utility categories. Table.
Once
Speech.
I reach the list,
Selected.
I'm going to arrow down to the web category.
Navigation. Web.
And then tab again to the setting that I want.
Leaving cell. Navigation. Page loading. Tab. Selected. Page loading. Speak web page summary when loading a new web page.
So this
Unchecked.
is the setting
Checkbox.
I want. So I'm going to check it.
Checked. Speak web page summary when loading a new web page. Checkbox.
And now I'm ready to go back to Chrome and begin web browsing.
Chrome, Google window, Google HTML content.
So now we're going to go and actually browse the web. I would like to go to Wikipedia website. So in order to do that, I'll press Command L.
Open location, https /
which takes me to the address bar.
Selection N period on K I P I period G Google HTML content. Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia page has 351 links, 15 headings, 4 form controls, 6 tables, 14 landmarks.
You notice how VoiceOver spoke the page summary. It told me how many headings, links, and form fields and tables are on a page. And that's the setting we turned on just a minute ago, if you remember. Every time I start browsing a new web page, or even the pages that I already know about, I start looking for headings to make it easier for me to navigate through the page. VoiceOver has a tool called Web Router, which allows me to see how many headings, browse through them, and choose the ones that I actually would like to navigate to. To start Web Router, I press Ctrl-Option-U.
Headings menu.
As you can see, there are quite a number of headings on this page. So when I arrow up and down, I'll hear things like
Heading level 2 from today's featured article. Heading level 2, did you know? Heading level 2 in the news. Heading level 2 on this day.
One thing to notice here is that the order in which I see headings with VoiceOver is different from the order you see them on the web page. In other words, my order is more logical and the order you see on the page is more visually arranged. This is the decision that Wikipedia authors have made. Another thing to notice here is that VoiceOver speaks the heading level number every time I arrow to a particular heading.
Heading level 2. Wikipedia
2,
languages. Heading level 2. Heading level 3. Print / export.
3, and there could be more. Level of the heading indicates how prominent it is on the web page. So for example, these sections here,
Heading level 2. Today's featured picture.
they have higher importance than the headings of
Heading
level
level
3.
3.
Think of it as sections and subsections of a web page. So if we find a heading of level 3 underneath the heading of level 2, it indicates that this is a subsection of a section of a web page. So I would like to search for a heading that says something about featured. So what I'm going to do is I'll just type a few letters and let VoiceOver find that heading for me.
4 items. 3 items. 3 items. 3 items. Heading level 2. From today's featured article.
Oh yeah, from today's featured article. That's exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to press Enter key and move the screen viewer focus straight to that heading.
Heading level 2. From today's featured article.
You hear VoiceOver repeated the heading again, which means my focus is right there. From here on, I can begin exploring the page right underneath the heading by pressing Control Option right arrow.
Row 2 of 4 link. Image. Jonathan Agnew in 2006. Column 1 of 1. Link. Jonathan Agnew. Born 4 April 1960 is an English. Link. Cricket. Cricket.
By the way, I can move by headings on the page by pressing shortcut keys Control Option Command H to move forward by a heading, or Control Option Command Shift H to move backward by a heading.
Heading level 2. Did you know? Heading level 2. In the news. Heading level 2. Did you know? Heading level 2. From today. First heading. Heading level 2. From today's featured article.
This is a quick way to navigate through a web page if I would like to move with built-in shortcut keys directly through the content as opposed to going through the web router options. So this is how I navigate a web page using headings. There are other few tricks I use, however, I'll talk about them later. It's important to remember that once you've made the functionality of your web page accessible and usable for users of assistive technology, headings is probably one of the most important features you can build into your web pages to make them more usable for screen viewer users specifically.